afternoon everybody, welcome to the Flower Patch. My name's Iris Smith and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome guys, I hope you've all had a lovely weekend and I hope you've all caught up with your Christmas shopping or your holiday shopping as some call it. So I just wish to thank you all for your wonderful messages. I have got a couple of emails I haven't responded to yet, but I will do after I finished work today. So today we're going to do a swag and we're going to do it in blacks and golds. I've used 2 garlands where I've cut off, because some people like big swags and they also find it quite difficult to get hold of the bigger ones. So I cut 2 pieces of different garland down at 38 inches long each, and I've cable tied them together at the back, and I've got one just plain green spruce and one which is flocked. Now the flocked is heavily flocked and it does shed very quickly. I don't mean to the point where it all comes off. I mean, as you're working, you know, you will see bits of the flock on your workbench. I haven't fluffed it up, but the reason for that is because I want to start off by attaching just a couple of embellishments and also my ribbon or bows. So the attachments that I'm going to use are a black jewel or gem and also a gold one as well. So we've got 2 of those, what we're going to attach. For our ribbon or our bow, I've done the out of the deluxe ribbon, a 2.5 inch and a 7/8, and I've done it in black and gold where they are both fused with black on the opposite side, as you can see. And I've done this a bit bigger than usually I do. This is 7.5 inch loops instead of usually around 6. Because it's a big swag, I didn't want the bow to be hidden, so I've had to make the loops slightly bigger. And I've also got some tail ends on them, but as well I have also done one where it's just got 1 loop of each and a small tail end, and then I've also just made tail ends by themselves as well. So that's what we've got for our ribbon. I've also got out some more of my cones, my pine cones. So I've got those in, and I am using some gold, which is different tones as well, which I think it makes it look beautiful with the different tones attached. Let me just move the swag over there a bit because it is extremely long. For our foliage, I have got out a little bit of green. I've got out some of my pine needles, maybe to dot around on the top, the flocked ones. I've got out a bag of some of my twiggy bits, which are also flocked as well. Just to bring the flocked on the top in case, you know, the flocked on the garland is not easy to see or is slightly, some of it is hidden. Now I found these at the bottom of my bucket. They are Norfolk pine. I've only got 2 left, but they are Norfolk pine, and I thought I may chop them down and just place these in with some glitter on as well. I have got out my black cut out glittered poinsettias, and I've also got out some black cypress leaves as well, which are also glittered. But I have got out my black fern, I thought we could just incorporate some of the black fern around the edge. I've also got out, I think this is, now let me think, Maidenhead, I think it's called, in the gold metallic colour with just a little bit of glitter dotted around, and I may use some of this for filler foliage. I've also got out my gold glittered bay leaves that are in the champagne gold. I didn't want to use the yellow gold. I wanted just to add in a little different tone. So we've got those as well. I have got the yellow gold ones. If I don't think they look right, I will get the yellow gold ones. Now I have got out my gold twigs I want to place around as well. They are quite thick stems here, but they've also got a thinner stem at the bottom to place in your wreath or swag, whichever you may be doing. So I've got those. I've also got what they call peacock feathers in the yellow gold, which are again highly glittered, and I thought I could have popped these around the sides as well. So I've got the bag of those out. And finally, again, I may cut some of this up in the yellow gold, some of our glittered bamboo, which come in single stems like that in a pack. So that is what we have got today, guys. And again, it's all glitter and all flocked. So I'm going to bring our camera down, and I'm going to try and give myself quite a bit of room, because again, it is quite big. I have with the 2 pieces of a spruce on the green at the back, I have wrapped them around each other and created a hook for it to hang up as well. So let's just, oh my gosh, this is going to be really messy today. But I do spray them with these either self-adhesive spray or hairspray on the flocked and glittered items. But I don't do them while I'm working. The reason I don't do them while I'm working is because they are flammable. I don't want to place on the hot glue onto the hairspray or anything like that with it being hot, and it may, I don't know, it could, but I'm not going to take the risk. It could, start to scald it or melt something, or bring a flame to it, maybe, if it's that, because it is quite hot in the glue pan. So I do spray it after I've finished when all the glue has gone cold. So I've got it all on my jacket, the flocked, and I can't get it off. I'm going to have to use something I've got in my house, what gets off things like this, or you could use tape of any kind that will just pull it off. So one moment, guys, let's just bring the camera down, and again I'm gonna have to come back a bit, guys, because it is heavily it is very long. So 38 inches is about 96 centimeters. That's if you're working in centimeters, which is nearly a meter. So first of all, I want to attach our ribbon or bow. Let's just see where the top is. So I have placed cable ties around through the back so I can cable tie it to the spine. But as I place this, I don't want the tail ends to come down the center. I want them to come slightly off to the side. So I'm just twisting my bow slightly so the tail ends then start to hang off to the side. And that is how I will attach it. So if I just bring it from underneath, And then get my snips and cut off the excess of the cable tie. Like so. So now the tail ends, as you can see, are coming off to the left side. Then I want this one coming down about here, and then I want the tail ends down on this side. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do, just so I can place these other bows in the right place, I'm going to add in our gems or our jewels, and I don't want them, you can have them vertical, or you know, I much prefer them to be slightly, you know, offset, just to give that little bit of movement instead of having them just straight down. But again, if you prefer them straight down, that is fine. Now I've glued this top on. This one hasn't got one, so I've glued this on, and I'm going to pull, if I can get one, a spruce leaf from the back and thread it through the hole on the top here. So as you can see, it's coming through, and then I'm just going to bend it and twist it around itself so it doesn't come off. You can glue them underneath as well. And then, so that one's sitting there, and we're going to have this one around here. Now the hole on here is much smaller, so I've attached a ribbon on the back and glued it on, and put a little bit of a floral wire through it to attach around as well, in case this doesn't go through very well. If it doesn't, no, then I will use and grab another floral wire, pop it through the hole at the top so the ends both meet, twist it just so it holds in place, and then I will wrap this around the spine as well, going under the bottom. I can feel the spine, and then just bring it slightly back up to the top. Let me just get my other snip so I can hold it, hold the other wire so it doesn't fall back. I will place that. Oh, I've just let go of it. So I'm just twisting the wire around itself like you would on the back of your bow. I will cut some of it off so it doesn't have a longer piece, and then wrap that around itself. Then the little bit that I've placed on here, I will now attach that around one of the spruces, just so that holds in place as well. So we've got those now on there. Then I will grab the other one of my bows, and I want to place that here. So I'm going to wrap that. And I've placed a cable tie on this so I can cable tie around a piece of spruce. Because you don't always have to place the cable tie around the back. And then this one I've already placed on a floral wire. I'm going to bring that slightly under here so it's just coming down here, and I'm going to hide the little bit of the ribbon at the top underneath the gem. So if we just twist that one round as well. And then cut. And then we've placed now that on there. So as you can see, all the flocking is extremely loose. Well, not extremely loose, it just comes off. It's just what it is. So now I've done that, I'm going to keep, I may, with the long tail ends on the top bow, just bring them together and attach them there as well. I'm not sure yet, we'll leave that a little bit further, but I have now got those all attached, and now I can work around those. So what I'm going to do first is place in some of these peacock feathers, which I'm going to start. I just bring this here, I'm going to bring one at the top to start with, but because the stems are really thin, I will bend them over as I like to do, just so it's a bit thicker. And then I'm going to go and place it on the spine at the back. And I'm just going to wrap a bit of the spruce around it, just to give that little extra piece of support. So let's just bend that one over. So I'm placing one right at the top where I call the neck. Then one's going to come, and I'm gluing them onto the spine, the main spine to start with. But I'm then getting a piece of the spruce on the bottom and just wrapping some of it around the stem, again, just for that support. And then do the same on this side. And then get a stem. You don't have to wrap the stems around. I don't on everything. It's just usually when I first start, just so I know that the background foliage has got the support. For all other elements to be glued to them. Then I'm going to bring one in here, and again just wrap that spruce round. You haven't got to go and wrap the whole of the spruce round, just enough to hold it in place. We'll just bend that down a little. And we'll do one on the opposite side to that. And just bend that one down as well. And we'll come a bit further down. To around here where the gold gem is. And then I'll bring one more at the bottom, like I have done at the top. Which will go down right at the bottom here. So let's just move that ribbon. And I'm going to use this spruce here at the bottom to wrap around there. So now we have our peacock feathers placed in, which really do set it off really well. So if I just move those and just give you a quick look from the bottom, coming up, let's just move that there. I may have to put some ribbon on that one and hold that one in place to the top as well. I think I'm going to do a loop here. I just don't want them just sitting out to the side. So what I'm going to do is just get the ribbons together, see, put my hand under to form a loop, and then see where I'd like it to be, and I'm going to place it around here. So then I'll pinch it together and I'm going to wrap it around a spruce, or should I say a spruce around the end of the ribbon, tail end. So I've got now that, so we'll keep that like that. Excuse me. I am going to put in the twiggy bits. I placed, well, I had some that, let me get a new stem out, because I may, instead of doing them singular, I can grab one. They do come with 3 leaves on each. If I can get them apart. I've just noticed one's dropped off. So there's 7 stems on this bunch. So I'm going to incorporate the black around the edge as well. So we'll put one here, I'm using the dark green evergreen or spruce, whichever you may call it, to wrap around the stems and leaving the flocked over onto the top. Because once you've done all of, you've just wrapped, you don't have to, it's whatever you feel more comfortable with. But once you've placed them around a spruce on the bottom, and you know that they're all secure. So as you can see, the green spruce there, so I'm going to use that just to wrap around once on the stem. I'm not putting, lots and lots in. Because I want the gems and the bow to be the star of the show. Oh, that rhymed that there, guys. I feel like a poet now. And just have those coming out. One more. Let's cut just one off of this bunch. So now I've gone around just with some black around this sides also. I'll keep those out because I may want to incorporate those. Let's see, what shall I? Now I may use the cypress leaves as well. Again, these are thin stems, so I will fold them over slightly, just so it's like a U bend. Now I'm placing some of these on top of where the peacock feathers are. And I'm gluing them to the peacock feather stem itself. You will get, when you have glittered foliage or floral, occasionally it does happen, there's nothing you can do about it. You will get somewhere that look like the glitter has come off. You know, these are new, so they've come like this, but there's nothing really you can do. It happens, so it is really what it is, but that doesn't mean you can't use them. They still will look really pretty. Right, that one's that. So where I've placed the gold, like the peacock feathers, I am attaching black over the top of it. And again, I'm gluing that to the stem of the peacock feather. And then where I've placed black, I will place in a gold where that is as well. So it goes sort of like black, gold, black, gold. And then we'll place one at the bottom also. Like so. So I've done that. I've got two here. I may bring one in. I'm going to use the whole pack, so I'll bring these two, one here and one at the top. So I'll glue that one in there. So I've brought a bit of the black up above as well. And then one just under our bow, sticking up through there. So we don't need that. Right, with our twiggy bits, because I do want these in, I'm just going to see what they look like if I place them here, because I do need to fill in just a little bit more. Definitely want some here. I'm just going to place them. Obviously, they're not all going to stick out that far. I just want to just get them in the area that I'd like to put them all. And then I can have a look. And if I like what I see, then we'll put them in. Again, these will go further in. I think I quite like that with the twiggy bits around. It gives that different texture and also contrast against all the other foliage. So I'm going to place those in. But because they are so long, because I don't want to cut the thin stem off at the bottom and leave the chunky one, I'm going to push them in quite far up the spine area, the main spine. And you will see on this side, put plenty of glue because they have got a little bit of weight behind them. Could just get that glue string off. So I am lifting up here and it's going in here. I'm pushing it at an angle but more like a 22, so the stem is going up here. So I just need to keep pushing that stem in as far as I need it, like so. And same with this, towards up to the top of the spine. So And then as I'm at the top, then I will place the twigs at an angle coming down towards the bottom. If I can just, there we go. Like so I'm not going in at an angle going up, I am placing them now coming down, because as the further you get up, I don't want these stems to be sticking out at the top. So then we will place them going the opposite way. That one needs to just go in a little bit more. And if you think because they're weighty as well, you'd like to, you know, attach them around a spruce to give them that a little extra support, which I'm going to just place that one there and use this spruce at the top just to go around up here. And use this spruce just to hold that one in as well. So now we've got all our twiggy bits in as well. Look at the flocking, guys. It's lots. So we've got those in around the edge as well. So let's just have a look. I'd like one here to cover the mechanics. So I would put one there. So that's going that way, to the opposite side. Then I would bring this one coming inwards to the opposite side to that, like a zigzag. And then I would bring that one down there. I may bring one in the centre of the bow. I've got two left. Let's just have a look where I would place these. I could place one here where the tail end is there, wrapped around the spruce, and bring one down there. And if that's the case, then I don't really want them to be too many. So let's have a look. I'll bring them at the top instead. So I don't think these are glued on, no. So they're not glued on, so I've just pulled the pin out of the top. Just make sure I hold it so it doesn't come out. I'm dipping the end of the Christmas ornament in the glue, and then I'm pushing the pin back in so it then sticks. And then I can place a pick in there. So then I get a pick. If you haven't got picks and you don't buy them, use a stem that you cut off from, you know, something. Place in the glue on the end and pop it into the hole at the top, and then just wipe any excess glue off that pops out. So there is then your pig. So let me just, I'm going to place this one then at the top. Where's my snips? And then I will place this up here. I can just one and do the same. Dip it in my glue pan so it's got it around the outside edge. Then place the pin back in. Oops, that one just popped out. And then press your top of it back on. Get the glue off my fingers. And get my pick. And again, push it through the hole at the top, like so. So then we've got our pick again, and then we'll place that in there. Hi, her. Thank you. So then we'll place this one in at the top as well. Like so. And that's all you have to do, because again, I mean, these are new, so I haven't glued these on. Just push it back in. And I'm going to cut this stem a little bit shorter because it's going in the centre of the bow. So I don't want it the full length of that stem. Because you can put things in vertical. So I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Plenty of glue. And then I'm just, if I bring this here, guys, it is quite long. And then I'm just going to get the glue, go in between the loops and push it down like that, and then bring it in and bend it back to the centre. So then we've got one in the centre as well. You don't have to use anything like this. If you want just Christmas ornaments instead and use those in your swag, they would also look pretty. And pop that in the hole at the top. And I'm going to put that there. Can be a little time consuming, but it's well worth it. And I do like to glue these on anyway, because especially if it's going outside and you may get strong wind, you know, I do like to place glue on them so they don't pop off. So that one's going that way towards that side, so this one will come in facing this way. Like so. And then the last one will go out to that. So I'm doing a zigzag with it. Let's just make sure I'm getting that. Yeah. Oops. I'll just get the glue off before it sets on this from the side. So then that is that one. And our last pick. Like so, and just wipe a bit of glue off. Because you don't want to be seeing those little blobs of dried glue either. And now this one. I've got that go under here, coming slightly out. Oops, that way, like so. So then we've placed in our pine cones. Now I'm wanting to put in some of our flocked foliage. I think I'm not going to put these in because I've noticed it's silver glitter, it's not gold. So I won't place those in. Now these are also flocked. They're not very strong stems. The wire, if I just take a bit of the paper off, the wire is very, very thin. It's paper thin. So I'm going to bend and twist these together. I'm just going to bring a few under the bottom, so let's just, we've got a bit of that there. And I want to, I think maybe bring some. So where I've gone on one side, I'm going to go on the opposite. You don't have to. You can do it in a zigzag way. You don't have to always place them in exactly the same place on each side. So I'm just going to dot these around. I'm going to bring one here as well. I think we need one here. I think if I'm going to place in something a bit thicker around the sides as well, because I don't want it to look too empty. I may get some more black foliage because I've got a lot of gold around the sides. Bring these a bit closer to the bow. I've got two left. What should I do with these two? Maybe here. Again, I'm not having them all sticking out. It's just a little, adding a little bit of the flocked on the bottom. That. Let me just have a look what other black I could use. I hope you can see. Oh, I've got these in single picks. I'm going to use these. I'm going to use a long stem willow. I placed a lot when I did Halloween on single picks. And I'm going to put some in again to bring a bit of dark and a bit of a fuller leaf around here. Let's just cut some down. If you want to, you could put eucalyptus in as well. That would look pretty. Just push that one in a little bit more. Bring one down here as well at the bottom. Just by adding that little bit of the fuller leaf, it really does help to, fill it up and give a solid background. Just let let me just cut that one a little bit longer, shorter. And then I'll do one at the top. Sorry if it's moving, guys, and you can't really see what I'm doing because it's quite long. And then we'll place one up here as well. So we've placed those around the outer side. I'll keep those out. I want to just start adding in a bit of this green pine needles, just to give it that, again, another lift and different textures. Bring one over here just to hide the mechanics on this bow. Just give them a little bend as well if you feel you want to add a little movement to them. Bring in one up here, and also this will like fill in a little bit more on top. Just go there. Let me just put a bit more glue on it. Then we'll bring some further up as well to the top. I just bring it down here a little. Let's get a bit of it here where the bow is. And up here as well, under the loops of the bow. I need a bit more glue on that one. Let me just have a little drink, guys, of my coffee. Make sure I push that in a little so I can, there we go, so I can feel that it's being pushed in instead of just placed. Yeah. I've got 3 left now. I'm going to bring one here, one here. I may bring that one in the centre, maybe here, or in fact I'll bring it down to the bottom. So let's just get these in on the outer side. So I'm going to go to the bottom with those. And then with this one, I'm going to bring it down to the bottom. So we're going to have that there. Right, I'm not going to use those. I've got the bamboo left. Some of our maiden hair, did I say? And our black poinsettias. So let's just have a look. Again, I may not use them all. I just want to see. I think that's nice. And then I may just dot a few of these around. So let's cut up the maiden hair. Pull them out. Oops, I've just pulled one off. Right. Now, I don't know, let's have a look first before I decide if I'm going to place them in. I'm going to cut it first. Let's just see if I want it as a cluster. So I'm just going to place a few around. Again, I'm not going to do these ones in sequence. I'm going to have some slightly higher than others. Gosh, they do tangle up. I'm definitely going to have one in here. Maybe one here. Let's have a look. And then one up here, I think. And maybe one down here also. So let's have a look. I think that's a bit too much around there. I like how these are down here and at the top. So let me just get these, and I'm going to keep them as a cluster instead of separating them into single picks. We'll bring some of the pine needles through as well, so it just doesn't look like one mass of a cluster. And then we want one there. Let's get the glue off my fingers. Just separate those. And if you haven't got anything like this, you know, you could use maybe little berries or seed heads instead. That would look quite pretty. Right, let's have a look. I'm definitely going to put one right at the top. spread it out so it doesn't look too much of a cluster. I think I may bring one there and then one here. Do I bring them there? And then I've got another one. Let's have a look. I could bring that in the middle or maybe here. We'll have a look. Where's the one I've just placed? This one's quite long. I'm going to cut one of them down so it's not, so I can use some just to finish up in another area. So I'm going to place one under here, excuse my head, like so. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. We need something around where the loop of the bow is, or this tail end here. So bring that there. Press it in. And again, I'm not doing them in a sequence, it's just popping them in. And just spreading them slightly. I think I'm going to place this one. Let me put a bit more glue on here instead. And have that there. I think I've put one of them in here by mistake. Let's just have a look. Here's this one. Oops, I've just pulled it up. Yeah, it is. I went a little bit way with the fairies there. I've got one here and I've placed two next to each other. So I was going to place another one in there. So I'm just going to pull that out. Replace this one because it's longer. And this one has got the shortest, then what I've chopped. I can get the glue off. So let me just glue that piece back on so it doesn't come off. And I'm going to bring that one here. So we've got that piece there as well. So we've got in now our little maiden here scattered around. Again, I don't want to place in too much. But with our, I'm going to just scatter a few of these on top as well, and then also I think I need something at the side here. It's just a little, they're quite nice long. Yeah, I may need a bit more greenery. Green in colour. I have got the bay leaves. I don't think I'm going to place in the bay leaves. Let's just have a look. Oh, I could do. I could place those there instead because they're a different tone. Let's do that. Let's do that. So because these are champagne gold, I could place these instead of getting some greenery, because I'm trying to avoid too much greenery in, you know, in colour, and keep it relatively minimal with the colour green. It's like around here. I'm going to cut the stems down a little bit. And around here as well. Just have that little extra different tone. And I need something around here. Let's bring a piece in there with, on, you know, near to the top. I need something here also. So if you just, you know, have a look where you feel that something's missing, or it's too big of a gap, just place in you know, just something like this. Again, I'm going to place one up here. I'm going to keep this stem long because this one's going to the top. And I'm going to place that one there. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Keep the stem long. And I have to put that one down a little bit. Place that one there. So I've now placed in the bay leaves. And again, I've just dotted those around as well. I want to see the foliage up here, but like here, there's something needs placing there. So I know I don't want to put black on black because you wouldn't see that. So I would get the bamboo. And I would put just something here. For that one, and same around here as well. I may actually bring one up above there. I'm going to cut several down into, I'm cutting them in half. Right, so let's see. Excuse me. So we place those there. I would like one here. And again here, because there's a lot of flocking flocked pine needles there. I want to break that up. I don't want too many, you know, as a cluster together. I want to bring one like here as well. I can Again, I'm just placing them in, with this being the yellow gold as well. I feel something screaming here, even though I've got the bay leaf. I'll place that one there. And then I won't be placing any more gold in. I'm going to bring one here. Let's just, there's quite a bit of flocked pine here as well. So I just want to break the colour up. We've got one there. That might look a bit awkward there. I could put a flower there instead. I've got one left. Let's have a look. I'll place it under here. So I've now placed in where I'd like them all to sit. So I'm just now going to glue them onto other stems that are in there. Again, breaking up the flocked pine needles with a bit of colour. And so this side also. On there. Now I've got one under here. Need to break. Put a bit of colour under here as well. Again, I will bring one of the poinsettias up within there as well. There. And then our last one at the top. Just under there. So I won't use any more of the bamboo. So let's now put in our poinsettias. I've just chosen the medium ones and the smaller ones that I've picked out. What I'm going to do, because we do want, because there is again a lot of black, I don't want to place any on next to the black here because it won't show. So I will just place the odd one around the top to start with. And if I feel that, you know, let's place a few around the sides, then we, you know, I'll just pop some in. But I'm not, again, doing them opposite. I'm going like here, then up, then it will be across. And because the black's here, I will place this nearer to the, or under the bay leaf, so it's not going to deter from the black. You'll still see it because it will be lifting up off the bamboo. And again here, pop that there. So I'm balancing it out with the colour by bringing the black up. I'm going to cut that shorter, and I'm going to have that where it's more in between those flocked pine needles. There. And then we'll do this one, because that one went here, so we'll go across here and place that one just in there. And again, from here we'll go to a zigzag to the opposite side and place that where the gold bay leaf is. And then the last one I will bring up to the top. So I'm not going to cut the stem on that because I need it to be just a bit higher up. Like so. So we've added in now our poinsettias. I don't think there's any more that's needed to be added. If I just lift it from underneath, that's what we have. If you look at the bottom, as it's coming with the jaws to the top, up here as well. Just by the gold, look at all this flocking. And the glittered and the black as well in glitter. And then also just that little tiny bit of flocked foliage. You could use flocked cypress leaves, you know, or cedar. Anything like that. And bring that into it. And just by adding just those little tail ends here, that's just added a little bit. And then with the bow here and the little tail end, I think it feels, I quite like it sat over there. And then here as well, made a loop. So let's just fluff up our bow. So one, there's it. The ribbon is exceptional. It's deluxe ribbon, so the wire is quite strong and the loops just sit in place. So I quite like that. Let's just get rid of the glitter on this side. And if you don't want, like, you know, blacks and golds, as I always say, you can do it in your own colour choice and it will always look fabulous. Get the glue off of the pan. Now this is going to be quite big, so I don't know if it's going to be long enough for my easel. I may have to hire the easel. Just to fit some of it on, I guess. So I'm going to just, let me bring up the camera so you're not staring at the... I may have to come back out just to make sure it's in shot. So let's just bring this here. Where's the hook that I created? Here. Oh, I've got it on. Hopefully it doesn't fall. I'm going to just hold it on with a couple of the spruces what have not been used at the back. And this is a good time when you've got it hung up just to have a look if there's any stems popping out. There's one there that's not sat in correctly, so I'm going to replace that. Because that was sitting on the back. Like so. There. Let me just see. Right, I can see one here. And just one here. Other than that, there isn't any more that is coming out at the back. So let me just come from the front just to see if it's in shot. It's very big. It's very big. Let me sit it correctly. Right. Gosh guys, it's very big. I'm going to have to zoom out so you can get it all in. There we go. I think you can you? Oh my goodness guys. You may be able to get that in guys. We will do a close-up. Let's just turn it a little bit. So, there you have your 38-inch swag made from 2 garlands. Again, I have not fluffed up the garlands because I've got these attachments on. I've left it flat. You can still see this, the flocked pine needles through here. I used the dark green, the plain spruce at the bottom to wrap around our foliage and around the side and our twigs and etc. to start with. And then after that, once I've filled in where I needed to, I then just glued the foliage and everything what's on top to the other stems. So these around the side are attached to this main spine at the back. So that's what we've done. We've created a lovely black and gold. I love black and gold. I think it's so elegant. Using 2 gems, and you don't have to use 2 different gems. You can use the same colour gems if you know, or if you don't want gems, you could use just big Christmas baubles or Christmas ornaments, the big ones, and place a couple there, 2 or 3. I know some people may say, well, why have you only placed in 2? There isn't a reason I've just placed in 2. I think mainly because I've got the big bow at the top, and I wouldn't have got a 3rd one in because they are 9 inches long, and I wouldn't have got a 3rd one down here. So, and I thought 2 would just be fine, which I feel that they do look really pretty with just 2. And then again, if you're using gems, just add in maybe some Christmas baubles or ornaments, smaller ones, or some cones like this, and try to add in another extra, bow instead of 1. Just put one with 1 loop of each on one side, so you're doing the zigzag here, here, here with your ribbon as well. And if you're using gems, face one way, one the other, or if you do like them vertical, that's fine as well. Excuse me. And by using different tones in the gold, like the yellow gold as well as the champagne gold, that also, you know, just gives it that lovely contrast against all the other pieces. And just by adding in a few twiggy bits, whether they're green twiggy bits or black twiggy bits, it doesn't matter. You know, I just feel myself, my personal, you know, taste, I do like twiggy bits anyway. And I always find, you know, Christmas, the leaves have dropped off the trees, so why not add in some beautiful twiggy bits? So, and then again, I didn't want poinsettias, because the poinsettias, even though I've got black velvet ones, I didn't want them to be the focal point, because the velvet ones I've got are big, so they would have took away from the gems. Hence the reason I've chosen the small poinsettias, just to add in a little bit of floral. And then again, the black cypress leaves, and also the fern as well, and just a little bit of this flocked twiggy bits as well. You know, that looks really pretty. And then some of our maidenhead or hair, and then the little bit of the yellow gold in bamboo, because the cones are champagne colour. So, and I really do feel that that looks really pretty. And oh, I might put that on my door. Everything I make, I want on my door. My house, if it was up to me, would be decorated in wreaths and swags on the outside, all up the brickwork. So, have fun, guys, whichever colour you choose. Pastels are a nice colour. You know, some people like to see the pastel pinks, white and mint colour. I've not got any really of the mint colour, because nobody really asks me for pastels for Christmas. So it's usually the traditional colours. But, you know, again, that's just where I live. And some people will go out of the way and go a bit more extravagant. You know, some people don't even have the candy cane. They don't like it. It's too busy, as I've heard, you know, a few people say, and a few of my customers. So they just prefer more of the elegant side or the traditional. So, but everybody's got their own choice, haven't they? So again, have fun. Enjoy creating a big swag. Again, if you've got garlands and you want to create a big swag like this, you know, because you may have a big door, or you just want a big one in general, grab 2 garlands, maybe a plain one, and then place a flocked one on top and cable tie them together, and then you're good to go. Because with a garland, you can measure it as long as you want and then cut it. So, have fun. Please subscribe, share and like. Bring everybody along to give them some ideas on different creations, and maybe inspire them to give it a go themselves, and maybe to make one for a loved one, or even to sell. So have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. Excuse me. There's the flu going around, and I think I'm picking it up. And take care. Have a wonderful day. God bless. And thank you all so much for your lovely comments. I really do appreciate them. Keep them coming, and press that subscribe button. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now, guys. I love you all. Bye-bye. Right then, guys, let's have a close-up. Let's see if I can get this off. Right, I may have to, let's just see. I'm going to zoom out, so I'm going to go into the big, there we go. Okay, is that zooming in all right? Yeah. Right, there's the lovely 2.5-inch ribbon with the black and gold glitter and the gold lines, diagonal lines, and then I've used this 7/8 because it's got the twiggy pattern on with the twiggy stems, because I used twiggy stems. So I've incorporated that instead, which I think really does go with it really well. There's our gold jewel or gem, and then there's our dark black one. And we'll blow that all off. And then we've got our lovely champagne gold cones and our lovely bamboo with our maiden hair. Is it maiden? Maidenhead? Maidenhead, I think it is. And then our lovely little cutout poinsettias. And then our black, oh, there's a glue string there. Let's just grab that glue string. Our black cypress leaves. Our lovely champagne bay leaves. Our black fern. And again, look how heavily flocked this is. It's really heavily flocked. Our lovely pine needles. And our flocked twiggy bits as well. And our glittered peacock feathers with our long leaf willow. What else did I put in, guys? I can't remember. I really can't remember. But if I've missed anything out, guys, my apologies. But that is it there. And then again, our lovely bow up above, made out of the same ribbon. Again, a bow that onto one side, leaning your tail ends outwards to one side, and just attaching a spruce around the bottom when you've pinched it together. Then just do another bow on the opposite side in the middle, just with 2 loops, and then come back down this side as it, and just add in a couple of tail ends. So you've created like a zigzag with your ribbon. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you give it a go in whatever colour you of your choice, and have fun. And take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.